Super Rugby round number 13 is in the bag, folks. We've still got 3 weeks to go. There's still some teams in the race, but you feel like it's kind of narrowing down for those top 6 spots. There's 3 teams on the bye this coming week as well. I'll go through the upcoming fixtures shortly. But let's have a look at the week that was, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. Who's in a good place to make those playoffs and hit the playoffs running? Crusaders Blues was a chance for my Blues to be the first team to beat the Crusaders down in that new stadium in Christchurch. Not even close. The Crusaders were pretty deserved winners in that one. 36 points to 20. George Bauer, even as a Blues fan, that was a pretty sweet moment to see him go over the whitewash for a try in his 100th game. Hannah, Rehana, Preston, Reese, and Bell, despite cards at the end, going in for a bunch of tries for the Crusaders. There were a few nice tries from the Blues, like AJ Lamb's one was really, really nice, length of the field. Crusaders defense won't be happy with that. So Tutu got one when the Crusaders had cards, and Knock got one with a nice little snipe. So the Blues were in it for a while until they weren't, man. The Crusaders had the possession, the Crusaders had the territory, Crusaders had the line breaks, and the Crusaders had Lester Fainganuku, who was tackling the house down, winning turnovers, and setting up tries with his bloody kicking game. He's having a pretty good run. A pretty good run at that number 7 jersey. Stephen Perofeta, conversely, barring setting up one kind of bit of nice territory for the Blues, didn't have his best game for the Blues. I was kind of hoping they would pull him, bring on Bodie. Instead, they pulled Zahn Sullivan. So, yeah, well done, Crusaders. Deserved winners in that magnificent new stadium down there. May those great attendances keep continuing. Second game was the Reds against the Chiefs, 31-21 to the Chiefs away from home. A little bit of controversy about this one with the refereeing, especially because the Reds were denied what was, I guess, probably a try. I don't know. I think a lot of people were rubbed a little bit the wrong way by that one. If you're a Chiefs fan, you probably think there wasn't compelling evidence. But if that's your team, or if you're a neutral, you probably think the ball got down from Seru Uru right before halftime for the Reds. So it was a pretty rough one, but there's still some kind of key stuff which you can look at and go, yeah, the Chiefs deserved their win. They won double the turnovers, 8-4. They had fewer penalties conceded, 12-5, although you can look at the penalty count and point to the ref, I suppose. But it was still a pretty entertaining game. Lockie Anderson on his return to the Reds, he managed to score a really nice try. McLaughlin Phillips helped set up that one. Joe Bryle got the try of all tries in terms of the assist from Harry Wilson was thing of beauty. Like, if you want a game of the week in terms of just that sweet skill, oh my goodness, absolutely highlight worthy. Stop watching this and go watch that highlight if you have not seen it yet. That pass from Wilson to Bryle is magnificent. And then Pritchard's try, his first ever try, is not a bad looker either. For the Chiefs, Satiti bagged a couple and Tokiaho bagged a couple. Maybe not as pretty as the Reds ones, to be honest. Satiti's last one was pretty nice, but yeah, the Reds walk away with a loss, and the Chiefs on the road get a win in what was a bit of an arm wrestle game. As I said, ref chat kind of drives me up the wall, but that one, there's certainly some talking points there. Then the Saturday games, Highlanders against the Waratahs, kind of a knockout game, like not mathematically, I think. But the Highlanders desperately needed a win, and they got most of their points in the first half. It finishes 31-26, but the Highlanders had 28 of those points in the first half. All 4 of their tries came in the first half. How good to have Caleb Tangitau back. That guy is a weapon. He busted 12 tackles in that game, along with his line breaks and setting up tries and kicking to 50-22. The Highlanders look a better team when that guy is in the mix. Jonah Lowe bagged a couple as well. Rotuvata Mukinipkins got one at the back. They did have a red card, which is obviously didn't help their cause. The Highlanders, Nadeki got one, but yeah, if you want to get into the ref chat, that one seemed one that I would have thought they usually mitigate down, but hey, they ended up getting red carded and they still got the win. For the Waratahs, terrible first half, but it's a flip. Second half, they were much better. Callaway got one in the first. Runaway, Haloholo, and Harvey got him in the second, but the comeback was a little bit too little too late. Cam Miller managed to slot a penalty. And if you're the Tars, you dropped too much ball and you didn't make your tackles. Like Sid Harvey, he's having a great breakthrough season, but 8 missed tackles is too many. Like, you need to get the defensive stuff at least a bit better to complement the attacking game, which you've already got in spades. He blew a try as well at one point, got tucked out in the corner at one point, so he's always looking for work. He's a really impressive player, but still, he's a rookie, isn't he? Like 75% tackle percentage for the Waratahs as a whole is kind of poor. Samu was missing tackles. Suoli'i, although he set up, also missed tackles and whatnot. So you can't make the playoffs if you're like that. The Highlanders on the flip side, 89% is pretty classy. Turnovers conceded 14-9 by the Waratahs. So a little bit too much coughed up ball, a few too many missed tackles, some electric play from Tangitau and the rest of the Highlanders backline. Timothy Tavatavanawai, couple of turnovers. One, geez, he's good at the breakdown. So he was unlucky to get a yellow card as well. God, I'm going about ref chat. It's not me. 31-26. Good win for the Highlanders, albeit like the cliche game of two halves match. Then the Moana boys against the Hurricanes. I will admit I struggled to get invested into this game. This is the game I had on in the background. I didn't really pay much notice. I wanted to keep it on in case something happened, but something did not happen in terms of like Moana giving it a go. I know like they're a team which is going out at the end of the year. They've got more things to, like pressing things to worry about, basically. These players will all be looking for work very shortly. They should be looking for it now, really, shouldn't they? They should be lining themselves up for next season. But this is your top team against your bottom team. And even with the Hurricanes rotation, they still put 50 points on them, 50-17. Morby, seeing Whittingham get all those tries, he finally had a week where he can, I don't know, be the star of the show. 4 tries from him. Naholo on his return, 2 tries. Karifi got on the scoreboard. Roba got on the scoreboard. 3 tries for Moana. Tuitama still looks class. He'll pick up a team for sure. He'll be picked up. Leota got one as well. But yeah, I mean, 10 line breaks to 6. 6 turnovers to 3. Proctor with 3 assists. The Hurricanes are just too good here. And there is no surprise about that. Other than Whittingham didn't get on the board and Morby was the guy scoring all the tries. So like I said, paid kind of minimal attention to that one, which is not usually like me. I like to watch them all in full, but yeah, it was kind of hard to get invested, despite the fact that it was the kind of prime time New Zealand kickoff time for that one. And then Brumbies against Force. I'm wearing the Brumbies gear because the Brumbies finally got their act together after some kind of misfiring weeks. But I'll admit, I'm gutted for the Force. I wanted the Force to go on for a real run to push for the playoffs, but I think that's kind of buggered it. I can't see the Force making it from here, but I would have loved to see it. I don't think they're mathematically out, but they're on 18 points. The Reds are on 27. You'd need pretty much maximum points and nobody else to get points. It's not going to happen, is it? But I would have loved to see it. But the Brumbies are deserved winners, 32 points to 15. Lockie Shaw gets another one. Sapsford, Lonergan, and Mickelson. So the Brumbies get the tries. Harry Johnson, Holmes, and Tizano get them for the Force. 32-15. The Force led for a while. You know, Buddha, Ben Donaldson get on the scoreboard. They busted some tackles, but 5 line breaks to 1. Double the penalty count, more than so, like 11-5 against the Force. Tom Wright keeps looking sharper and sharper as time goes by. The Brumbies were deserved winners. And if they're going to find some form, hopefully this is the game which kickstarts that, because they have been, I don't know, less than Brumby-like impressive in their, I don't know, last month or more, maybe 6 weeks or so. So 32-15, maybe this kickstarts them just in time for the playoffs. How is the table looking? Top 3 is still Hurricanes, Chiefs, and Blues. 45 points, 40 points, and 38 points. The Blues, despite that loss, have still got a bit of a buffer to that chasing pack of the Crusaders on 32, the Brumbies on 29, and the Reds on 27. Teams like the Reds and the Brumbies are maybe still looking over their shoulder a little bit at the chasing pack of the Highlanders on 24, the Waratahs on 21, and the Drua on 20. I mean, the Force are only 2 points behind there on 18, but again, teams in that top 6 are still going to pick up points between now and then, although the Force are playing the Reds next. So I think that's probably the mathematical elimination game for the Force if they lose that one, but yeah, there's still some tasty games to come. The Chiefs have got the Highlanders. The Highlanders desperately need points to put themselves back in the playoffs. The Drua are playing the Waratahs. Likewise, that's kind of do or die. It's a second road game for the Waratahs in a row where they're playing a team directly in that race for the playoffs. So it's probably an elimination match in itself. The Blues Hurricanes. The Blues would like a win at home and to banish some demons from that shellacking we got down in Wellington a few weeks ago. Yeah, and it would put some distance between the Blues and the Crusaders and the chasing pack, but the Crusaders are on the bye this week anyway, so the Blues have got a kind of game in hand for a week anyway. And then the Force are playing the Reds. Like I said, the Force The Force need a win because that keeps the Reds anchored on 27 or maybe 28 if there's a losing bonus point there, if the Force can get a win. So Moana, Pasifika, Crusaders, and the Brumbies, 3 teams on the bye for the next round. You guys let us know your thoughts. What did I miss in Moana, Pasifika against the Hurricanes? Because like I said, I kind of only skimmed over that one. Game of the week. I mean, probably Reds against Chiefs. There's some nice tries there. But as I said, let me know what your thoughts on the refereeing are, which is something I never ever say. I usually want to talk about the players. I mainly want to highlight this one because the Harry Wilson try was just so good. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. Subscribe, take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Ta-ra.